All right, here we are in round 3, and we're on the draw. I think we can keep this. Got a 2-drop on 2. We've got our best removal spell and a Conduit of Ruin down the line, which goes well with our Ingest creature. So looks pretty good. Definitely not broken or anything, but definitely a pretty strong hand. Up against another black drafter, so see what happens there. Ooh, got another good removal spell here. Though with our current creature, it's not going to do great. Like curving Culling Drone into Unnatural Aggression probably isn't so great for us. Oh, well, maybe. All right. We've got like a draining Vampire Rally or Ally deck sort of thing. Yeah, so we're going to play Culling Drone, and we have the option of fighting this thing down, but I doubt we'll need to. Like, unless our opponent went really deep on the allies, in which case we could be in trouble. That could be a really sweet deck. The black-white Vampire Rally deck could be really cool, actually. Like, this is one unfortunate thing about not really knowing the format, is knowing what, like, archetypes are really sweet. All right. 3 mana, 2/2. Not bad. Not an ally, though, it appears. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attack in here. Like we're saving 1 point by holding back, and I want to get the ingest going. And I can't imagine my opponent will block here. All right, Kitetail Scout. This one is an ally, right? No, just a scout. Okay, so we can fire off the unnatural aggression and take out our opponent's Colostria healer if we really want to. Probably not what we want to be doing, but at the moment we don't have much of anything to do. So we're going to take the point here and just see what our opponent comes up with. Could be something that we have to Ruinous Path this turn. All right, well, wow, our opponent's got a lot of power in the air, which is going to be tough for us. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and fight down the our opponent's 1/2. Just makes use of our mana this turn, and maybe keeps them from doing some broken things down the line. And we'll just keep chugging away with our ingest. I don't want to fire off Ruinous Path here. Like I know it's another 2 turns before we really get to start going with our game plan, but firing off Ruinous Path here seems like our opponent is probably going to play a pretty good threat this turn, and firing off Ruinous Path next turn makes a lot more sense. If we fire it off at all, I'd much rather just draw a threat. But haven't gotten anywhere close to that yet. The nice thing is if we do survive, Conduit of Ruin, we already have the mana to cast our processor, and we will gain 5 life. So even though we're dropping to 12 here, our opponent has us on a 3-turn clock. We can still survive that. Wow. All right, so that I will probably just Ruinous Path this turn. Or I could play the Baloth. I mean, my opponent's got so many flying creatures, though, but I think it's just... I just got to kill this thing now. Just a shame, not putting a threat onto the board this turn. But next turn we get to drop our 6/6, or sorry, our 5/5, and then the following turn we get to play our 7/8 and gain 5 life. So that will buy us a turn back on the clock in the air. So hopefully our opponent doesn't have a big play this turn. This turn is sort of the key turn for us. So if they have a big play this turn, we probably... All right. That doesn't affect us too badly, I think. It doesn't shave a turn off of the clock or anything. Or I guess it does post Conduit of Ruin. So once we slam the 7/8, it shaves a turn off. Right, if they play another flyer here, we're pretty dead. Black-white flyer is pretty interesting. Ooh, Menace. What's its landfall? +2/+2. All right, well, we can't swing with the drone anymore. So we die to a removal spell. Ooh, we got a Bone Splinters. Huh. All right, I think I still just slammed the man. So this is tough because like if I just slam the conduit and put our our big beater on top, then we die to a removal spell because this has menace and we just can't block it, and our opponent swings for exactly lethal, even without the landfall trigger. If our opponent doesn't have a removal spell though, then we're on a 2-turn clock anyway, and without our processor we can't win. So I think we just do slam the conduit here and tutor up our 7/8. At least this way we have good blocks on their landfall guy unless they draw a removal spell, and we have a rebuild plan for like mowing down their flyers. Like we get to gain 5 life, go to 8, and then we can bone splinters down one of the flyers the following turn. All right, well, our opponent hit the landfall, so I expect them to attack, but if they have the removal spell, we just die. It's a pretty tight one, though, for us. Like, we're going to be using every little bit of mana that we have. All right. Hopefully they don't have a follow-up. So this is going to drop us to 3. We get to gain 5 life and go to 8. Oh, I think our opponent maybe misclicked. Put the drone in front. Either way, sorry, if our opponent, yeah. So yeah, they put them in the wrong order, which is good for us. So we get to, let's see, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna, sorry, definitely don't want to bone splinters here. We're gonna go ahead and serve for 5, and then play our processor, and then that way, as long as our opponent doesn't have some big play, we put ourselves out of lethal. Oh right, I only have to pay the full amount. Ooh, I could even bone splinters this turn. I don't think it's worth it though. We have lethal on board right now, and we can follow up with like Baloth plus bone splinters. So like, unless our opponent has a way of pushing through 4 more damage this turn, we're in a pretty commanding spot because we get to like swing back and our opponent's on chump block duty. And even if they like come up with 1 threat, we have the answer for that. If they swing here, we might be in trouble. All right, taking 4. Blade Whirl. Okay. Got a 2/2. 1 more card in hand. All right. And no further play. All right. Well, that was a great draw. Blister Pod was really good. So we get to play out our. Oh, whoops! I should have played the Baloth first. I keep forgetting that this guy has an ability after he hits the field. But we're gonna go ahead and bone splinters that, sacking our Blister Pod, and with any luck, if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell, we just get to win here. However, they haven't conceded yet, so I have a feeling we're going to hit a Stasis Snare right here. Nope. All right, well, we got it. So that was pretty lucky. I felt like we were on the back foot there, but managed to just curve into the right things. This could be a spot where we want something like Rising Miasma. We saw a lot of our opponent's threats were small, and a lot of them were flyers, and those are both like things that we're going to have trouble dealing with. So I'm gonna cut the Scrying. I'm gonna put the Null in. Let's see, do any of these guys have reach? Did we end up with any of the... I don't think we ended up with any of the 2/4 reach guys, which is unfortunate, because I think that would have been pretty good here. So we're at 41 cards right now. Again, I think the Oracle was just like too expensive. I don't think we really need it either against this opponent. Miasma is going to be a little bit awkward with all of our little dudes, but I think like adding the null in and like some other ways of us gaining advantage, we can set up a Rising Miasma that'll be very strong. We're going to have to use our removal pretty sparingly as far as like shooting down like 2/2 flyers. We're going to have to save them for the bigger flyers. So we want to apply some pressure and like maybe be like a little bit careful about how we pace the game. So, you know, we can lure our opponent into like a over extending and using the Rising Miasma, or we can try to like build a monster and then just beat him down with that. I don't think that this matchup is going to be great for us because I think our deck is pretty weak to flyers. And I like what my opponent's got going on. Seems pretty sweet. This hand looks fine. Like null into Eyeless Watcher is like a combo kind of, but it is like a slow combo, and Swell doesn't look great here, but I think I'm gonna keep it. If our opponent has a very quick start, then we'll regret that. But we have lands, we have a good curve. I don't think we can pitch this. Like you can't like cherry pick your very best hands. Ooh, all right, well, we're gonna be taking quite a bit of damage here. All right, the Bailoff was fine. I could growth my opponent's creature next turn, just in exchange for getting to play Eyeless Watcher a turn early. I don't think that's what I want to be doing here. All right, Grave Birthing is interesting. Yeah, just run it back. We'll see what they do. Right, I could play an additional land if I wanted to. Like obviously I would growth it after combat. But if my opponent doesn't have a play here, then I feel pretty good. All right, looks like they're stuck off of black mana. So in that case, we'll just go ahead and run out our null, and we'll start fighting back with our own swarm here. We're gonna get to resolve Eyeless Watcher next turn, and then like maybe Brood Monitor down the line. So like right now, I think our best draws are like land. Okay, so another flyer. So our opponent's really putting the pressure on us, so we have to start beating down. Okay. Let's go ahead and serve here. If our opponent goes for the trade, I think I will blow the Swell of Growth. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our Eyeless Watcher onto the battlefield. And then next turn, we can curve into like the Bailoff and then just try to overrun our opponent. Like I think we can put power onto the battlefield a little bit faster than our opponent can. Like because like the flyers have the premium for being flyers, like they're going to be a lot more expensive. But our opponent drew into their black mana, so that's going to be tough for us. we may need this Swell of Growth here to do some real work. Oof. Jeez. All right. Let's let's go ahead and play our forest and let's move to combat. I could just have loaded up my null here, but I want to like goad my opponent into blocking. Okay, so they are not taking the bait, which I think is fine. We get to hit them for 5 this turn. I'm gonna just drop our 4/4, and then we're gonna get cracked back for 5, but then we get to crack back for quite a bit. If our opponent decides not to leave back blockers, then we have Voracious Null could get huge this turn, right? We have 2 black mana, so we could make this guy into a 6/6 off of our Scions. And then the Baloth is already going to be a 6/6, so we could just kill our opponent, I think, between, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we still have enough left over for a Swell of Growth, I think. But obviously our opponent has cards in hand, so it's going to be trickier for us. However, I don't think that we're dead. We're at 7 right now. We should think of ourselves at 7 because at the beginning of their upkeep they get to do stuff, but I don't think that we're dead yet. Hitting a removal spell, like hitting a Bone Splinters here would be pretty great. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's annoying. Like, we don't have Swell of Growth to protect it, but that's fine. So we're at 7. Opponent can hit us down to 2. The Cutthroat was a great draw there. We're going to go ahead and play our land. And the Cutthroat as well. And let's go ahead and serve with everybody. So this is going to hit our opponent for 9, put them down to 5. They're going to go back up to 6. And I think I'll just pass. I'll pass with Grave Birthing available. We don't have much reason to use anything here. I guess I could have just gone for the Swell of Growth to put our opponent down, but I think I'd rather have Grave Birthing open. Like, the Eldrazi Scion represents 3 points of damage right now, so I feel pretty comfortable about that. But yeah, if our opponent isn't able to like mount a really big threat this turn, I feel good about where we are. But even if they are, like, we're not dead with what's on the board currently, and we can get to 10 and put our opponent to 3 just by sacking Eldrazi tokens. And like, if our opponent has to hang back this turn, then we just keep getting to abyss them with the 4/4, and we get to like leverage this Swell of Growth to make lethal. So if they like try to peck at us and then play a creature, then I think we're in a good spot. Because then we get to swing with everything, and yeah. So this looks good for us. This will drop us to 5, but we're gonna have a whole bunch of attackers on our turn. Yeah, tap out, tap out. All right, nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and Grave Birthing now. There's no reason not to. So our opponent has 3 blockers. Ooh, Bone Splinters. Bone Splinters was a great draw. Yeah. So I think this wins us the game. I mean, I don't think we even need to use the Bone Splinters. Let me just double check where we're at. All right. Well, Mortuary Mire means we definitely don't need to use the Bone Splinters, but so I'm gonna put that into play. The Mire is not going to do anything, but it gives us the landfall trigger. And now, if I swing with everything, my opponent has 3 blockers. They put blockers on the, like, here, here, and here, and then take 3, and then I just sack Eldrazi Scions to kill them, or just Swell of Growth them to kill. Oh, no, wait. So they block, take 3. Yeah, okay. So I think they're dead. So let's just go ahead and do that. Like, I don't have to Bone Splinters down anything, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to Bone Splinters anything. They have to chump on the 6/6, and then they'll block, like, the Cutthroat and then, like, one other creature. And then we get to Swell of Growth, an unblocked creature, and then that's just game. Because then we're hitting for 5, and then when Cutthroat dies, we ping them for the last one. So that was pretty sweet. I liked how the deck came out. I like this sort of like black-green sack token strategy. It's pretty fun. Reminds me of like the Modern Masters, draft format a little bit. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.